right, so I mentally can't play live poker for longer than 4 to 6 hours without feeling a significant drop in the quality of my play. I could sit and grind online for 10 hours without an issue, but I can't seem to keep my focus at the same level of thinking effort for each decision after the first 4 hours at a live table. What can I do to be able to grind longer, quality live sessions? So you want to start this one?
Well, 4 to 6 hours actually is a long session for live poker, I think, because, when you play online, it's like I've got 20 tables and it moves really fast and, it's really exciting. And when I play live, I get 20 hands an hour and it's really slow. And so I would wonder, are you taking breaks in the time that you're playing live? Or are you just trying to sit there for the 4 to 6 hours? Because you need to be taking breaks and you need to do it. What do you think, James? Every a couple hours, every hour or two?
Oh, I mean, for me, I get up from the table probably once every hour to half hour, honestly. I mean, I get up a lot. Even if it's just to stand behind my chair and stretch my legs for a moment, just you have to get up. Just because, as we've said a million times in other things, but sitting for long periods of time is just horrific for your body. But, if you fold a hand, just get up, do a quick stretch real quick, and get back to business. But I think it's really important to take breaks. How often are you taking breaks?
I feel like every 2 hours is a minimum.
Sure.
For sure. And, I like this idea, of getting up, a lot. I'm a big proponent of not doing too much sitting because it does terrible things for your body and your brain. And I need all the help I can get. So I don't want to, do anything detrimental. But I just think it is such a huge transition to go from live where you see so many hands an hour, online, to live where it just moves at a snail's pace. And now when you have people tanking and thinking that's cool, which it's not, and it's terrible for the game, but it slows it up even more. And so I could see where someone would get really, frustrated with that.
Sure.
So I think, finding things to pay attention to is good. So maybe you focus on a certain player and try to pick up tells or reads, put people on hand ranges, like give yourself things to do.
Exactly.
So you're not just sitting there, just waiting for the time to tick by.
Right.
And combine that with your breaks. Endurance, and that's what this is. It's kind of an endurance sport, even though, a lot of people would disagree with me on that.
Sure.
But you've got to build up when you're doing endurance. So for people who are used to only playing, a couple, 3-4 hours, for example, they'll go to the World Series. You see this every summer. And let me tell you, by dinner break, they're like dying.
Right.
And they go to dinner break and they come back and they're going to punt off their stack just because they ate a huge meal. They were tired anyway. They get sluggish and boom, they're out.
Yep.
So build up that endurance.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're a cash game player that's never going to play tournaments or you're never really going to play long sessions anyway, it's not as important. So it's understanding what endurance is good for you. But it probably, honestly, like, especially if you're able to focus on online sessions for a long period of time but not for live, I think it's exactly what you're saying in the sense of you're just bored to hell, right? You're not getting enough stimuli, and that's totally fair. And this is where, for me, I come up with little games that I can play for myself. So what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to figure out the VPIP for every single person at this table. Right, so it gives me something to super focus on for the next hour, because typically when you're playing live, particularly in certain games, you're not going to be able to do anything, right? You're just sitting there full, and it's boring as all hell. And like you said, it's 20 to 30 hands per hour, and that sucks. But you have to come up with some sort of game to keep you mentally focused. But it's also better to do it that way, come up with some sort of look for tells or look for a certain stat or look for something like that, rather than put your eyes on the game on the TV that's across the room, right? Because that doesn't help. So stay focused here, and also don't beat yourself up over it. 46 hour long live sessions, if you're able to play really well for 4 hours of live, that's not bad. It's frustrating because there's not very many hands. You're not going to get a huge sample, but I know a lot of people that cap out after an hour and a half, right? They still put in longer sessions, but they play like crap after that hour and a half. Just be honest with yourself and say, okay, this is what I can do. And like you said, keep working on the endurance so that eventually, if you really want to, you can get to 8 to 10 hour long stretches if that's really what you want to do in the first place.
Right. And make sure you take those deep centering breaths, take breaks, do the breathing to reset your mind, refresh, and do that pretty often. That's going to help you too.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Excellent. All right. So